What's up, guys? Welcome to the Black Geek Cool podcast, where we talk about comic book and sometimes anime news from the small and the big screen from the past week. I'm your host, Gershon. This is episode 39. Before we get into the episode, please, I would greatly appreciate it if you go rate this podcast 5 stars. It helps me get in front of more people, helps the podcast grow, and it's the least you can do for just listening to the podcast. Just hit that star button. It's not much work. I believe in you. You guys can do it. But with that out the way, check out, I forgot there was something else I wanted you guys to do. Share the podcast on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. Share the podcast. Help us grow with more audience. You like the podcast. Most likely there's somebody else out there that would like the podcast that just don't know about it. So help them know about it. All right, guys. With all that out the way, let's dive into this week's podcast. So first up, small screen news. Bright 2 is still happening, says David Ayer. That's all he's talking about. He said it's still happening. They're still working on it. I'm not gonna lie. I liked Bright 1. I guess it would be just Bright. I liked it. It was really good. It had good world building. I liked the characters. Will Smith was Will Smith in it. He's Will Smith, so he's gonna do his thing. But everybody else kind of was very interesting, and the world was very interesting. The story was interesting. The action was good. I really wanted to continue in that world and find out, what happens next in that world, since we know now magic. I vaguely forgot how it ended, but I know they got a magic wand, which is like a super rare relic in that world, and that's gonna change stuff. I mean, of course, it was all based on race relations and stuff like that, but used with monsters and fairies and stuff like that. But a really good movie. Go check it out. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix movie, so it's on Netflix. And hopefully this sequel does come out. I was supposed to do a review for Bright. I might do a review for Bright 2 when I come out and do a double review. So look out for that in the near future. Second up, Willow. That movie, if you weren't born before the 92, you would know about. Yes, Willow is reportedly getting a sequel at Disney Plus, but it's going to be a Willow series. So it's a sequel, but it's a series, and they're in production right now. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. It was so long ago when that came out. I don't know if I want to revisit that world. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't really remember what that world was about at all. But they're doing a sequel series, so that's something else new for Disney Plus. They got to have some stuff. A lot of people are kind of unsubscribing because, The Mandalorian's done, which I still got to do a review for. Yes, I'm going to do a review for that show as well. But me, myself, I still like Gargoyles and the Disney Afternoon stuff. I still haven't even got to DuckTales. Still got to watch Spider-Man and then X-Men. For me, there's enough stuff on Disney Plus for me to keep it. And my kids watch Doc McStuffin, so I got to keep it for that. And what's that one? It's Mickey Mouse Racers. They love that. But yeah. Hit me down in the comments, or hit me up at BlackGeekCool on Instagram, BlackGeekCool Twitter, or BlackGeekCool Podcast at Gmail. Let me know if you still have Disney Plus, or did you cancel it the moment Mandalorian was over, or let me know if you're going to get it just to binge watch Mandalorian for a month and then cancel it. Let me know, guys. In other news, Joker got 11 nominations for an Oscar. Well, I said that weird. Joker got 11 Oscar nominations. Touche to Joker. I do agree that some of those Oscar nominations should have happened, but a couple of those I'm like, really? We're doing that? But it is the most Oscar nominated comic book movie ever now. So I give it props. DC, you coming back a little bit. Keep on that track record. I don't know if you're going to do that with Birds of Prey, but keep on that track record. Do your thing. I'm definitely going to be not watching because I don't have cable, but I'm definitely going to tune into the Oscars when I can to find out if how many Oscars Joker wins. Excuse me. But, yeah, Touche to Joker. I'm not hating on it. I didn't like the movie as much as other people did, which I still have to do a review on that as well. Oh, I'm slacking on these reviews. But I do give credit where credit's due. You got those nominations. Touche to you. Congratulations. In other news, Locke and Key trailer came out, and I realized I did not watch it. So give me a second. Let me watch it right quick. All right, so I looked at the trailer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know nothing about this. I'm guessing it's a graphic novel or a comic book. Never read it. Never even heard of it. Trailer looks very interesting. Yeah, it looks interesting. Let me know what you guys feel about it if you know this source material. If you read the books this is from, how does it compare to the books just from the trailer? For me, it looks interesting to check out. It's on Netflix. I have Netflix, so it's not a lot of work for me to go look at it and see what it's about. It's supposed to come out February 7th on Netflix. I might have to tune in for that. This is one of Netflix's new series to kind of take over for them not having Marvel. So this is another one of their comic book adaptations to kind of fill that void Marvel left since Disney Plus. Yeah, but it looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it looks interesting. Cool trailer though. Concept of keys, unlocking stuff. Just stop touching keys. But it looks interesting. I will be at least check out a couple episodes and see what I feel about it. Other news: Star Trek Discovery fans, you guys have been greenlit for season 5 or season 4. Ooh, I got a little jumped ahead of myself. Season 5. We gotta get to season 4. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't watch Star Trek Discovery. I just haven't got into it. I like Star Trek. I just haven't got into Star Trek Discovery. I heard some good things about it, but I'm not a super Star Trek fan, so it was not stuff that was like, oh, I gotta go watch that right away. But you guys are getting a 4th season. Touche to you. Touche to those who watch it and follow it and excited about it. You got another season coming, so get ready for that. In other news, CW is talking about doing a spinoff after this Crisis on Infinite Earth, which I have not watched. I still got to watch an episode. I'm still working on it. But they're talking about doing a Superman and Lois spinoff show. So, I forget which, the Superman that is from the CW, the first Superman that showed up in the CW shows, his Superman, and I think Lois from the CW as well, are the ones they're talking about doing a spinoff with. I don't know how I feel about this. You know how I feel about the CW shows. They were really, Flash was really good for like 2-3 seasons, and then they just kept repeating the fact that everything was his fault, and I had to let that go. I'm sorry. I really hated that. I didn't finish Black Lightning's first season. It got kind of weird for me. Only watched like a couple episodes of Arrow because that got weird for me. So, I mean, but clearly there's a fan base for it because they have multiple shows. They took a show from a different network that they canceled there, brought it over, and it's pulling it off over there, over at the CW now. So if you are a CW fan, go ahead. I still want to go watch that. I'm going to watch that Deathstroke animated series. I think the first episode is out. That's on the CW Seed. Their secondary app or sister app. It's free, so you go download that and check that out. In other news, Burt Ward, aka Robin from the 66 Batman television series, got a star on the Walk of Fame. Touche to Burt. I think Kevin Smith was like the speaker there, so that was pretty cool. It's cool that he got a star, immortalized now on the Walk of Fame. Touche to him. And if you're a 66 Batman series fan, you should be ecstatic. I can't say I'm a fan, but I did watch the show on reruns, and it's a relic of its time, but it's still amazing to watch now, looking back on it. It's still a good show. It's weird, and you have to get in a different mindset for Batman, but it works. Touche to rest in peace to Adam West, who was Batman on that show, he did a great job with it. I'm not gonna lie. He played it straight, had fun with it, and gave Batman a new life in that time and when he needed it. So, touche to that. In other news, there's a rumor that Hawkeye's series was delayed indefinitely. Disney has come out since and said that rumor's not true, but the actor playing Hawkeye might be in some legal trouble, which might delay that project either way it goes. So I don't know what's going to happen with that project. It's still up in the air. I guess we'll get news on it as it goes to see where we're at on that, but it's not looking that great. Not looking that great. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with dude. Anyway, in other news, I'm almost finished with season 1 of One Punch Man. I'm waiting for the last, I think 2 dub episodes to come out. I'm on episode 10 of Demon Slayer. The dub versions are coming out real slow, so it's still a good show. I want to see all of it now. I want to binge it. I think this is 23 episodes, so that's taking forever to come. I need that to hurry up. There's something else anime related. I'll get back to it. I can't remember right now, and I don't have it on my notes. But moving on to other news, Westworld Season 3 did this weird trailer showing us the premiere date for Season 3. It was weird, but you definitely need to go check the trailer out, because it's giving dates of when things are going on and certain things are going on. That gives you a kind of a clue what time we're in, because I didn't think we were that far ahead in time in the Westworld. But apparently they're super far ahead in time. I didn't realize they were that far ahead in time. But they give little clues to that. Anyway, the premiere date is March 15th, 2020. So it's right around the corner. So I'm excited for that. Definitely will check out that. I love first season of Westworld. Second season was a little bit rocky, up and down. Hopefully this third season can bring it home. I guess the creators of the show, Nolan's brother, I think it's John Nolan. That could be wrong. Jonathan Nolan. He and his wife, who both created the show, had a 5-year season, a 5-season plot. So they planned for 5 seasons, I guess, which is cool, but you don't know if your show gonna go 5 seasons. So put all that stuff right up front. I mean, have a little structure for later, but you got to hit me with the goods right up front. But technically they did hit you with real good stuff in the beginning. That second season, that must have been their low season. We'll see. Excuse me. In other news, I watched the first episode of Thundercats Roar, and it's really, really bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. The only good thing about it is they're using a lot of sounds from the cartoon, from cut scenes, the theme songs there. They changed it up a little bit, but just the first couple of beats of the theme song take you back to watching the first Thundercats. And no, I'm not talking about the 2004 Thundercats. I think it was 2004. But the old school Thundercats. It's good. I might watch the show just for those sounds, even though I could just probably watch it on YouTube. I don't know if it's streaming somewhere. I don't know if the old seasons, old show is on streaming somewhere. Someone, if you know if it is, let me know. Hit me up. BlackGeekCool, Instagram, BlackGeekCool, Twitter, BlackGeekCool Podcast at Gmail, or you can hit me down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. But yeah, it's That first episode was bad. It was not good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance. I had to realize this isn't made for me necessarily. It's for a new generation that like Teen Titans Go. And I understand why they're doing it. Bring new eyes to your channel. Rebuild something that was old, make it new again. Revamp it for this generation. Touche. Do your thing. It's just not something I will be watching. That's just what it is. And it doesn't kill my childhood because this is out now. Calm down, people. You still have Thundercats. You can still watch the old Thundercats. That's still alive. It doesn't kill anything. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it real quick. In other news, this was the other anime news I wanted to talk about. My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, the movie, is set to release February 26th. It's going to have a US and Canada release in like 100 different theaters. So you have to check and see if it's going to be released in your area or close to you so you go see it. I still need to see the first My Hero Academia movie. I'm really behind on that one. But the second one is coming real soon. So I probably got to get on top of that. Speaking of My Hero Academia, I am all caught up on episodes, and whoa, I'm not going to spoil anything, but whoa, they doing some big things over there. It was crazy. So definitely go check that out. Yeah, definitely go. If you're not caught up on My Hero Academia, go catch up on it. Also, for my anime fans, recommend me some animes to watch, because I watched Dr. Stone. Don't think I'm going to continue with that. I got One Punch Man, Demon Slayer I'm watching right now, Hero Academia. I know there's some other good animes out there. I might get into Hunter x Hunter. Heard that's really good, but I don't know. I'm not watching One Piece. Too many episodes. Not the biggest fan of Pirates necessarily. I watched a couple of them. They were alright, but I don't think they're going to be my cup of tea. So let me know. Hit me up with some anime recommendations so I can watch some stuff and get some new stuff in there. Oh, so this last bit of news, this is not even news. This is just a recommendation for me for a show that I like, not even nerd, comic book, anime related. The show is called Brockmire. It's on Hulu. If you have Hulu, that's where I'm watching it. It's on its third season, just finished its third season. Hilarious show. Crazy hilarious show. About a baseball sportcaster who just has a crazy life and crazy things are happening to him. Go check it out. Real good. Just a quick recommendation for a show that's not related to anything comic book or anime wise, but it's still just a really good show. Alright. So that's it for small screen news. As always, guys, hit me up. Let me know if there was something I missed you wanted to get my opinion on, something I missed that I didn't talk about. I definitely will put it in the next podcast. Hit me up at BLACKGEEKCOOL on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And, of course, you can hit me up at BLACKGEEKCOOL podcast at Gmail. Send me links to stuff, and I'll read it over. All right, guys, let's move over to big screen news. First up, Christian Bale is in talks to be in Thor 4, aka Thor Love and Thunder, directed by Taika Waititi, his second time directing Thor. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I would love to see Christian Bale have fun in a movie. I didn't see Ford versus Ferrari, so maybe he's having fun in that. But Christian Bale is a good actor. He definitely throws himself into his roles. I would love to see him in Thor. They're talking about him possibly being Beta Ray Bill, which would be interesting. But I'm all for it. Whatever role he plays, if he's a villain, that'll work too. I think it's a really good idea, and it shows Marvel's ability to get real big name actors and, keep growing this universe they're doing. there is a flip side. Some people are really upset. Some DC fans necessarily, which I'm not saying I'm not a DC fan because I love DC. I love Batman. That's my dude. Batman is my dude. But some fans are saying that he shouldn't cross over, even though there's been multiple people, actors, cross over from DC to Marvel, from Marvel to DC, who some of them even played the tightrope playing Marvel DC at the same time, going back and forth multiple different occasions. So I get what they're saying, but realistically it doesn't make sense. This person's gonna cross over, they're gonna cross over, whatever. So for me, myself, I am totally fine with it. He can definitely cross over. He was a pretty good Batman. But I'm fine with him crossing over. It's not a big issue. Let me know how you guys feel. Do you think he should play in a Marvel movie? You think he shouldn't because he was Batman? Or do you not care? Let me know how you guys feel about that. In other news, there were some set photos from the Batman movie they're making with Robert Pattinson, which I couldn't say in last week's podcast, but I remember it now. So there's set photos. It showed Penguin. So it showed, I just blanked on his name. What is his name? I think I blanked on his name last week too. I think I might have talked about this last week. Did I talk about this last week? Alright, whatever. I'm talking about it again. But it shows set photos. So it showed like Gotham police cars, which is cool. You can see. It showed Robert Pattinson on a motorcycle, but he was kind of covered up a bit. It didn't show him in costume or anything like that, because that would have been amazing so we could see the costume, but I think they're holding off on that. It didn't show that. But overall, it wasn't too big of a set photos to really get you too geeked about the movie necessarily, but just to let you know they're working on the movie. Yeah, just to know, yeah, we're working on it, we're doing it, we're filming, we're in production, all that good stuff. So that's something to look forward to. I thought that was kind of interesting to have right behind the first notes, but that's just me being me. Anyway, next piece of news is the Flash movie is apparently going to do a different angle or kind of a different take to the Flashpoint storyline that was in the comic books and aka the animated movie. I really don't know if this movie's gonna get made at this point. It's been delayed multiple times. It's gotten multiple directors on and then got signed off. I think they've rewritten it multiple times as well. The state of DC itself kinda is such in a flux that they don't necessarily know which angle they're going. This movie was supposed to be out by now, I think. When it was first announced, I think it was supposed to be out by now. So, I'm not holding my breath for a Flash movie. I would like them to not have Ezra Miller as their Flash. But I mean, I would like a Flash movie. I just don't want Ezra Miller as Flash because he can't run. Did you see him in Justice League? He ran very weirdly. It made no sense. He looked like he's never ran before in his life. It was so weird. I'm not knocking the dude as an actor. I'm just knocking his choice that he did for his running of Flash. That's all. I mean, word is he's a big Flash fan. And he just really wants to make this movie and wants to make it more comic accurate and all that good stuff. But why would you choose to run that way, though? I'm just saying. But yeah, apparently they're working on Flash, so it's still happening, I guess. I know they've told us on multiple different occasions, yes, Flash is still happening, but it's getting weirder and weirder now at this point. Yeah. But in other news, Doctor Strange 2 or Doctor Strange, what is it? Multiversion of Madness, I think that's the name of it. Let me look it up right quick. Hold on. Doctor Strange. It's taking me longer than I wanted to. I think it's Multiverse of Madness. I think. I'm looking it up. Sorry, guys. This is terrible. I should have been prepared for this. I wasn't prepared. I just put Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's what it's called. That is a long title. Then again, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a long title, and that's an excellent movie. Yes, I got Spider-Man in here. I do it every time. You're welcome. Because you know you love that movie. Anyway, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing. So, Doctor Strange into... Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness lost his director, Scott Derrickson. They both say, Scott Derrickson and Marvel both say I can't even say that word. They both agreed to go their separate ways. It was over creative differences, so I'm guessing some of the stuff he wanted to do, they didn't want to do, and some of the stuff they wanted to do, he didn't want to do. It's a big one of those big, hey, we'll say this so you don't look bad on both parties. I understand that. Even if it was creative differences, that makes sense too. But you kind of know what you're signing up with Marvel. They kind of run stuff a certain kind of way. They'll give you a certain range of freedom, but they have set things they need to hit. So I know who was it? Dude that came in to do the Justice League. He actually did Avengers, the first Avengers and the second Avengers, I believe. What is his name? I'm blanking on it. But I know he had some issues with some of the stuff they wanted to put in Age of Ultron. Which, yeah, it was kind of bad stuff. I'll give you that. But, hey, Marvel messes up even every so often here and there. But they have a better track record of success than fail, so you kind of got to go with that. But that sucks. We'll probably find out who the new director is in probably another 2 weeks probably, because this is a well-oiled machine, so you know they already had backups in place, knowing who they wanted if this one didn't work out. And I don't know how much delay that will have on this film, especially since it's not even in pre-production yet, I guess, so it shouldn't really have much delay on it. But that sucks, because now we know there's going to be two different versions of this movie, or at least certain changes in this movie that we won't see from the first script. So that, yeah, it does suck. I kind of hate that, because then you have that whole Snyder Cut stuff, or you have, who else? The first Ant-Man, I forget dude's name. He did Baby Driver, but he was supposed to direct the first Ant-Man movie. He had creative differences as well, so he moved on from the project. But then you wonder, how would that movie be, that first Ant-Man movie be with him as director? Now that you see Baby Driver, would you try to meld those two? Like, because technically, Baby Driver was kind of a heist movie, and the first Ant-Man is a heist movie. So, I just thought about that. That is crazy. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. So I guess we'll have to sit and wait and see what happens with Doctor Strange 2, who will be the new director, and if we get some. We won't. Most of us probably won't even find out if there was any changes or anything from what the movie was then to what it will be now. But if we do, you know we're going to talk about it. In other news, Shazam 2, which I don't remember me talking about, that they're making a Shazam 2. Like, they're making a Shazam 2. I am happy about that. A lot of people are not happy about that. I'm happy because I like Shazam. I thought it was really good. It was funny. It was colorful. It felt like the character. except the weird monsters are all gray. They could have did better with that. But overall, I liked the movie. I like Shazam. I thought it was a good step for DC. It didn't do as well as they wanted in the box office, which sucks. But I thought it was a good movie altogether. But they're making a number 2, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that because I love that story to continue. Like, Shazam gave you a good sense of what it feels like to be a kid granted these superpowers. It's a really good movie. I really liked it a lot. But they're going into production very soon on Shazam 2. So that's going to be exciting. I don't know if Black Adam is going to be in there. I don't know if that worm thing is going to be in there. That would be awesome. Because you can't tease me with some worm villain at the end and not use the weird space worm villain in a jar. What are you doing? But yeah. I also know they're working on the Black Adam movie too. Because The Rock is showing him working out and getting super buff. As if he couldn't get any buffer. But apparently he can. Jesus, Rock, make us all jealous. I gotta hit the gym. But, yes. So, they're doing Shazam 2. They're doing Black Adam. It's DC is still on the road. Well, I don't know. We'll see how this Birds of Prey movie comes out. Side note, I watched the trailer for Birds of Prey. I watched the trailer for Morbius. Go check that out on my Black Geek Cool YouTube channel. If you're watching the channel right now, I'll put a little link up there. But if you're not watching the channel, if you're not listening to this podcast on YouTube, just search Black Geek Cool and you'll see my YouTube channel and go check out those trailers. Anyway, back to other news. Snake Eyes, the movie. Yes, I talked about this a while back. They're making a Snake Eyes origin movie. It's kind of like they did with the X-Men thing, the X-Men Origins. They're doing that with the G.I. Joe characters. So there's a Snake Eyes movie, and then there's another G.I. Joe movie. I can't remember what that was called, because I talked about that maybe, it's been a while, but I talked about that. So anyway, the Snake Eye movie, the Snake, let me drink some water. Hold on. Okay, so the Snake Eyes movie is going into production. It's beginning for production. Also saw the logo for it. The logo looked really cool. I'm excited for it because Snake Eyes is one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters. Partially because he's a ninja. And then partially because he's just super cool. Yeah. So, only thing is, it's not the Snake Eyes from either one of the G.I. Joe movies that came out. So that's going to be weird. Because I fell in love with those Snake Eyes. But this is a whole new Snake Eyes. So that's going to be just awkward. And I don't know what they're going to do with that. But I am excited for it. I forgot who's playing Snake Eyes. I know they've come out and told us who the character's playing Snake Eyes, but I don't feel like looking it up, and I didn't put it in my notes. So if you know, hit me down in the comments, let me know what it is, or hit me up on Black Geek Cool, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or hit me up on Black Geek Cool Podcast at Gmail. Let me know. I had to take a deep breath. I was talking real fast. And our last bit of news that we have on our notes is Knights of the Old Republic is being worked into a movie. So apparently, they're working on a Knights of the Old Republic movie for Star Wars. I think that would be really cool. Partially because it doesn't deal with Skywalkers, but it still deals with Jedis, which that's your bread and butter, Star Wars, your Jedis. And the fact that it seems like anybody can be a Jedi, which they kind of moved away from, and we're like, oh, nope, only this bloodline can be Jedi. Get away from that. Let everybody be Jedis. Or let it be more people that can be Jedi that are not just one type of bloodline. Really got tired of that. But being that the Last Jedi, or the Rise of the Skywalker, has come out and ended, and they've ended that trilogy or that whole set of movies necessarily, we can move forward with some other Jedi stuff, other Star Wars stuff, talk about other characters in this universe, which they are doing another trilogy. Kevin Feige is supposed to be doing his own Star Wars movie, and I think there's another rumor that Taika Waititi might be directing a Star Wars movie as well. I don't know if that's true, but if that's true, awesome, do that, because I love the episodes he directed in The Mandalorian. Really good, really strong stuff, and really brought a kind of new flair to Star Wars that kind of hasn't been there for a while. But that's just my feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know much about the Old Republic and that time frame of Star Wars, but I hear there's a lot of Jedi fights and a lot of Jedis fighting, and Jedis were like more plentiful then. So that is definitely something I would like to see. I heard there's this guy named Reeves, I think his name is. He's a crazy, he's like a Jedi that became a Sith that went back to a Jedi. Oh, I want to see a movie on him alone, because he sounds amazing. But yeah, let me know what you guys feel about this Knights of the Old Republic movie that they're planning on doing, or seem to be planning on doing, or seem to be working on at least. Because it seemed like they say they've been working on this before, like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that, and never got around to it. But now that the Skywalker saga is done, they definitely have time. I mean, Star Wars is a big IP. They're not gonna just let it dry up. There's gonna be Star Wars movies. I hate when people are like, oh, Skywalker saga's over, there's no more Star Wars movie. Please, it's made $1 billion. That's another thing. Rise of the Skywalker, I think, is about to cross the $1 billion threshold real soon. So that means all three of these last trilogies have made $1 billion or more, which is ridiculous. Which also lets you know they're not about to stop making Star Wars just because they stopped with Skywalker. You don't let $1 billion franchise just go. You don't do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this possibility of getting an Old Republic movie. What do you feel Star Wars should do? Should they take a break? I know they seemed like they were trying to be like Marvel, where they had multiple movies coming out a year. They can do that, but they would have to get away from Skywalkers, which they have now, but they also have to stop making that universe so small. Only reason it works with Marvel, because Marvel has so many characters, even if they seem to be in the same vicinity, there's still so many massive characters with their own set of storylines. Star Wars kind of made everybody's storyline focus on Skywalkers, so they kind of tunnel vision a giant universe. So they can do multiple movies a year, but you have to slowly, like Marvel did, develop your characters within this larger universe, and not make them all be tunnel vision around one character. Well, at least that's my thought. That's how I see it. Let me know what you guys feel like, how you guys feel. Oh, I hate talking sometimes. Let me know how you guys feel. Hit me up, BLACKGEEKCOOL on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or BLACKGEEKCOOL podcast at Gmail, or on the comments down below if you're watching this on the YouTube version. Alright guys, that is everything for Big Screen News. As always, if I missed something that you wanted me to talk about that I didn't talk about, hit me up. I'll definitely put it in my notes for next week. Yeah, that's it for Big Screen News. A little bit of feedback, or what was I? I was trying to put something else here. I don't want to put a review of something because I'm going to do that in another way. Well, I can talk about that. So I'm going to start putting reviews on this podcast channel, per se. It's not going to be on the podcast. It's going to be its own thing, but you can listen to it on like podcast apps and all that good stuff. So look out for that. That should be coming in the next week or so. Thanks for listening. Thanks for people. I'm blanking out what I wanted to say. Whatever. Thank you guys for listening. As always, I appreciate you guys listening to the Black Geek Cool podcast. If you don't know, you can find the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Cast, or anywhere podcast apps can be downloaded or listened to. You can also find it on YouTube, because we're on YouTube too. I post on YouTube. And if you would like to support the podcast, you can always support the podcast by sharing, liking, ranking, giving me 5 stars, sharing it on your Facebook, linking it on your Instagram, just putting it out in the world so people can see it. That helps support the podcast so much. You don't understand how much that helps support. Just putting me into different people's eyesight and possibly getting them to click something. Definitely helps when you do that. But if you would like to financially support the podcast, you could always go to Anchor, the website, not the app. There's a support button where you can chip in $1, $2, $5, whatever you feel you want to financially support the podcast. I still can't talk. But yeah, if you want to do that, I'm working on a Patreon, so that should be up, I want to say a month, but most likely in 2 months. So if you want to support on Patreon, you'll be able to do that. I had somebody ask me, what if I wanted to just Cash App you some money? If you want to Cash App me, hit me up on my email. We can work something out there. You can do that. You can also support the podcast and what I'm doing here and get you some nerd apparel if you go to nerdcaveincorporated.com. Use my promo code BLACKGEEKCOOL, all one word, and get you some cool DC, Marvel, or some anime t-shirts. I think they have like socks, they have jewelry, they have like decorations you can put in your room. They got some nice hoodies too. I got a couple shirts from them, really cool shirts. You go check out something, see something you like, see something you about to buy, use my promo code BLACKGEEKCOOL, all one word. I think you'll get like maybe 10% off, maybe. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but 10 or 5% off, and I get a little kickback. So you get you something, you support me, everybody wins. It's all love. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Appreciate taking the time to listen to the podcast. Appreciate you sharing the podcast. Appreciate you help promoting the podcast. That's always great. Thanks, guys. And as always, I'll talk to you guys in the next podcast.